Hello, lovies. It's Gina from Gina Louise Designs. So today, I bet you can't guess what I turned this chair into. I found this chair along with it. It was a desk and chair, and I thought it was so cute, and I thought I could make it into something cute for my granddaughter. But now I know why somebody donated it to the thrift store, because the chair, you cannot stay balanced on it. It had a very short back to it, and it had very long legs, so it was like she would just flip off of it. So I figured, okay, this is very dangerous. The desk I kept. It's kind of fun. I use it for a makeup table, but anyway, I thought the spindles were awesome, and I figured let me and, well, I can't say I did alone, so my BFF helped me take it apart so I could use the spindles. But after we took it apart and I had a basket full of spindles that I couldn't wait to DIY, we looked at the top of it, and my BFF said, "This looks like a blank." Can you fill in the blank? Before you get to the end of this video, can you figure out what we made it into? Well, actually, I made it into, he did help me though. So it was a day that we were cutting up a lot of wood and making cutting boards and breadboards, and that was a really fun day, and I have some great DIYs coming from that day. So I looked at it. He said, "It looks like a guitar." And I thought, wow, maybe I can make a fun breadboard or a charcuterie guitar board. So this is what I did. This is from the chair edge, had like little notched edges. So what I did was we added them to the seat part that looks like the guitar, and we notched out the edge of the seat so that it would fit in, and we wood glued them. Here I'm just looking to see how my hardware looks, because I wanted to put some rustic hardware on here, which if you didn't see how I make my homemade rusty hardware, that video was uploaded yesterday. Please go check it out. I'll put the link below. And here's how I notched it out. I just laid the piece in the center of the seat, and I just took my pencil and traced around it. And then we cut with a box cutter a straight line. We used a piece of wood to use as a guide there, and then we just notched it out a little bit so that this piece would fit in nicely, and then we glued it and we clamped it. I wanted to make this guitar board girly, so I got these beautiful little rhinestone draw pulls, tiny draw pulls, and I'm going to use those for the tuners. Is that what they're called? I don't know. If you know what they're called, leave it a comment down below. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, oh God, it's missing something. So I'm gonna have to add something to the top of this to make it look more like a guitar. So here's my guest crafter, Paul, who will be on some of my later videos because I didn't know if I could cut the dowel. So anyway, I had these two pieces that were left over from the table, and they had the little holes in them to put the dowels in. So what I'm doing, well, Paul's actually doing, is we're putting the dowels in there, and we are putting some wood glue in there, and this piece I'm going to cut to look like the top of a guitar. And then I'm going to put this aside and let this dry. And while it's drying, I've decided I'm going to paint my guitar board with blackboard paint. At this point, I still wasn't sure if I was going to paint over it in another color and distress it for the black to come through, or I was actually going to use it as a blackboard. So I figured if I use the blackboard paint when I was done and see how it looks, I'd figure it out. So here is where I am lining it up, and then I am just drawing the shape out to look like the top of a guitar so we can cut it on my miter saw. I am centering it now, and then one side is a little shorter than the other, so after I cut this and I wood glue it on, I will use my wood filler and fill in that little space. Now I'm taking my Titebond wood glue and I'm gluing the top of the guitar together. And then I'm also going to use my wood filler and I'm going to fill in the little open piece after it dries. The top of the guitar was not flush with the neck of the guitar, so what I did was I put a little bit of paper towels under it and I put cardboard and I taped it with some painter's tape so it would stay in place. And now that it is dry, I'm going to fill it in with my wood filler to make it stronger. I also filled in all the holes along the neck of the guitar. And then when that dried, I put a little bit more in because it shrunk. I'm not trying to make this perfectly smooth. None of it. I'm trying to make it look like it is perfect. It is a decor piece. It's fun. It's funky. And I want it to be unique. So it's not about perfection here. Just really want to make a fun piece. So where the neck of the guitar meets with the upper bout, there was a little bit of an indent, so I also added some wood filler there too. As you can see, I did everything ass backwards because I already painted the guitar, but that's okay. Later on, I sanded this all down and I painted it again. There you go. That's all my job right now. So I have this corrugated cardboard and I'm using it to cover the back because the screws were a little bit longer than the wood and they came out a little bit. Plus it'll protect the wall when I hang this up. So I just put it on here and I took some paper tape and I covered it. Here are my blingy little tuning pegs that I'm putting on. Now I just glue them all in place. And now here's a special little treat from my granddaughter.
Burn it! Burn it! Burn it! Burn the guitar! Ava! 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 Encore!
Ava! 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 Yeah! Encore!
Okay, enough of that silliness and back to making the guitar. So I had these stickers from the Dollar Tree. I just couldn't pick out which one I wanted to use for the center because I liked all the colors, but I decided to go with the blues and the teals. Now I'm gluing on the rest of the pegs here, and then I'm going to attach the strings, and for the strings I use some pearl ribbon. Pearl strings, pearl rope, what would you call it? A string of pearls. Somehow I lost the footage of gluing the pearls onto the guitar. So what I did was I used my fabric tack glue, glued it on. I glued a little piece in the center to hold them down on the neck of it. And then after it dries, I cut the extra off. So now I also had this pink peonies stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I decided I'm going to embellish the guitar with them because I'm making this very, very girly. Off the little extra pearls, and here are the final results. So what do you think of my girly wall art guitar? Do you like how I did it? Would you have changed something? Would you have left something out that I did, added something? Would you have made it into a blackboard? Would you have made it into a charcuterie board? Or do you like what my final idea was, to just make it a pretty wall art? Just in case you forgot what it looked like, it was that very awkward chair, and someone will probably tell me it was worth $1 million in the comments below, I'm sure. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed my granddaughter. Don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know if you would have changed something or you like my idea of what I did. And I have to hang this in my house somewhere. Thanks for watching.